Meowdy meowdy, fellow gamers. Welcome aboard once again. Welcome to the show. This is Metroid Fusion, and that's Beatrice.
Hey, it's Franklin. Wait, there's no Franklin on this show.
I can transition into a Franklin if you want. Would the people like that? Do they like me? Do they like
Franklin can be like a boy or a girl's name, right? I feel like. I mean, I guess anything can.
I have no idea. I've never heard of a femeish Franklin in my life, but you know,
I feel
there's
like
a first time for everything.
I've seen it happen once.
Let's see. Is OBS being good?
Because there's
Is the
girls
camera
named
moving?
Frankie, and Frankie is short for Franklin.
Okay, there we go. Okay. What are we doing in this
Girls
video
like
game? Oh yeah.
Frankie Muniz.
That's right, I downloaded bombs. And now I can leave this fucking house. What the hell is that?
Is that something from Malcolm in the Middle or something?
No, I just say words sometimes. What is this
Oh,
shit?
okay. I think you have to powerbomb that, right?
Kinda cringe.
Or maybe you have to. I don't know. Yeah.
You were right.
Powering up the power block. You ever heard that jingle that I just jangled there?
What was your jingle? Jingle it again.
I'm powering up the power block.
That sounds so familiar. What is that?
If you have heard it, it was probably from me doing it on like a super old Digibros or something. Because it was like an early 90s programming block on probably Fox or something. Which is where I think it's where Beast Wars aired, and it would air, like the commercials for the Power Block. It was like stingers that ran similar to like how Adult Swim. You know, like the only reason you really knew you're watching Adult Swim is because like the little things would come up, and like it had its own kind of personality, and it was very like or Toonami with Tom. The Power Block would just run this like song in between shows and in commercial breaks, letting you know what all these shows are in the Power Block, which is supposed to be like all their cool action cartoons and shows and stuff. So I know GI Joe was on it, but I never actually saw GI Joe because it came on before I would wake up for school. But when I would wake up, they like literally every morning when I was in like first grade, we'd turn on the TV at 6:30 when I got up for school, and the first thing I'd hear is "Powering up the power block," and they'd be playing that fucking ad, and I'd see the ads for GI Joe, which I had no idea what it was, and then Beast Wars would come on, and I was hugely into Beast Wars for like that year,
Yeah.
Um, my obsessions were very driven by what happened to be on TV at the times that I was either waking up and getting ready for school or just got back from school.
Oh man. That makes me think of how we were yapping about cartoons on the last stream.
Mm-hmm.
Got me thinking. Cartoons have gotten so much fucking better, like decade by decade. Holy shit, cartoons used to fucking suck ass, and now they don't.
Yeah. It was the difference between in the late 90s, what was on TV, like the difference between the modern cartoons and the old ones was stark.
Yeah.
Like it was a huge difference. And especially because I feel like there was like with Cartoon Network in the early 90s did not have original programming. It was just running old cartoons. Essentially what Boomerang would eventually become was, and the only reason Boomerang was necessary is because Cartoon Network became better known for showing actually new cartoons that they were making. But like that whole transition happened in the mid 90s, so when I was a kid, Cartoon Network was running mostly shows from the 70s. Like there hadn't been a bunch of cheap licensed modern cartoons to run on Cartoon Network. So like there were modern cartoons happening on like Fox or on WB, but they typically didn't get rerun like that, and Cartoon Network usually didn't have the rights to them. So I didn't see a lot of the actual contemporary cartoons of the early 90s when they were relevant because they would have run in blocks and on channels that I couldn't have kept track of. I was just watching Cartoon Network. And so as like a little kid, Cartoon Network was mostly all these old 70s cartoons, and like I specifically remember being a big fan of Super Friends and Wacky Racers. Not like a huge Wacky Racers fan, just I remember that being one of the shows that would come on and I'd be like, oh, this is cool. And they would run a lot of like, you know, Bugs Bunny cartoons and Looney Tunes and all the old Hanna-Barbera, all the old Looney Tunes, old Tom and Jerry, you know. So that's like most of the cartoons that were on when I was a
What the heck? Why are you frozen? Is that happening on my end? What is this? Uh-oh, we lost her. What the hell? Oh, she frozen. She froze. Oh no. Oh no. I'm trying to get her back. What the heck? Well, this is startling. Not sure how to proceed. This has never happened before. God damn. Solo cast incoming. I hope she noticed that that happened. Oh, it just disconnected her. Oh no. I'm gonna send her a text. This is so awkward. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. So B just died. She says, my power went out and came back on, but internet hasn't come back on. Alright, technical difficulties. She'll be back in a minute. Yeah, I don't know. She was on a tangent about cartoons and stuff. She says, wait it back. Okay, good. That's good. Momentary technical difficulties. Ba-doom.
Oh my goodness, I'm suddenly in.
The return.
I don't see you. I think you gotta reshare.
Yeah, probably.
Like instantly.
Gotta reshare the stream so you can see the game.
I think you gotta put me back into the OBS also.
I can see you on the OBS.
For the stream though.
What do you mean?
Or maybe I'm just late. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, there we go. I see it now.
Yeah.
It says live, but it wasn't live at all.
It's sort of live. Like fake live.
Yeah, I still need it in Discord though.
Wait, what?
The game in Discord.
It says I'm streaming. You can't see that?
Oh, I don't see nothing.
What the fart?
What the fart?
Discord cringe?
Gee.
What the scallop?
Let me try disconnecting and coming back. There we go.
Meow.
It worked.
Okay, good.
Just turn it off and turn it back on. Below it work.
One size.
All right, now I get to see the chat. Nisa's here. She finally made it to one on while it's on time, and then it was immediately interrupted.
Yeah.
Crystal Post is here. Mayday from Space is here. We straight darling indeed. Sick thumbnail art indeed. We slamming, we dolling. Beast Wars was a lot of 90s kids' first drama. The first show characters were all super flat. Yeah, and I never saw any of Transformers. So I didn't even know about Transformers until like significantly into like at some point I found a Transformers toy and it was like not even like a character that's even in the show. I think it was just one of the like recolor kind of knockoffs, like a helicopter guy, and so I did buy one Transformer, but I had like it was kind of like through buying that I discovered the idea of Transformers, which is weird to think about now because the classic characters are all like incredibly well embedded into culture at this point through the Bayformer movies. But like when I was a kid, you couldn't just go to the store and buy an Optimus Prime like classic. You could buy whichever version was that season. So I didn't like grow up going into the toy aisle and seeing classic Transformers there. It would have just been Beast Wars. But we collected like every fucking Beast Wars toy over the course of that show's run, and they're all still somewhere. Probably I think Victor has them actually. I think Vic has all the Beast Wars.
I wonder if I could find my brother's old Street Sharks somewhere.
Fucking Street Sharks.
No one remembers Street Sharks, but Street Sharks was a vital component of my early childhood, because it was like a shitty knockoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they were radical skater dudes who got turned into shark people and swam through the road. They were Street Sharks.
Big Man doesn't like being a guest on the show. He always gets upset.
Biggest cat.
Cute. Wet cat.
When are we getting the live-action Michael Bay reboot of Street Sharks? It's overdue.
I can't remember if I ever actually saw Street Sharks. I feel like I maybe...
No, I'm the only person on Earth who watched that shit.
The Street Sharks?
What was that about that?
The sock puppets of the Street Sharks? Wasn't that like a thing that we had?
We had sock puppets of Street Sharks? Oh, you know what? You mean like finger puppets.
Shade remember Street Sharks.
Like a full sock.
Huh. I definitely remember like a finger puppet where it's like a thing you could put on your finger. It's like a rubber guy, and it was like a street shark.
That's fucking rad.
Mom made it. If Mom made us Street Sharks, that's hilarious because I don't remember that at all.
Please don't.
But I will find out if my mom has pictures of these Street Sharks sock puppets at some point because I need to know. Because I don't really remember actually watching Street Shark. Like, I remember seeing... Like, I knew about its existence at the time of it being out, but I don't remember actually watching it. Because, again, if something wasn't, like, on the couple of networks I knew as a kid, I was really bad at, like, figuring out what time and what channel things were on. For years, like, I really wanted to watch BattleBots and just could not figure out where and when BattleBots was on. Yeah, this is easily the hardest fight in a Metroid game, I think, at least outside the Prime series.
It's giving me flashbacks to the awful spider boss fight from Mega Man X. Nintendo and spiders have got along well.
I'm watching Chrono play Metroid Fusion, yeah. She's fighting Yakuza the Giant Spider, which is the worst, fucking hardest Metroid. Well, at least the hardest in these 2D games. Because if he grabs you and then slams you against the ground, it takes off 2 whole fucking life bars, and you only have it like 8. So, and it's pretty tough to dodge all of his moves.
So is this a bonus string to your...
One of those fights that if you
I'm
don't
talking
like
to her on
you-
Discord. She's just showing me the footage of the game as she's playing it. You can't hear because I'm wearing headphones.
Right.
Did you get him? Oh shit.
Try?
Yeah. Oh no, that's right. You still have to fucking... This is the even harder part actually, because it gets even harder to predict where he's gonna fall.
Awful, awful.
Yeah, this fight is fucking ass.
This is so ass.
It's miserable.
Stop.
It is...
God damn.
Ah.
Oh, okay, that looked like the strat. you like stun lock him.
Bro.
Almost. God, I feel like that's the first time I've seen you die in this game, right?
Yeah, it's because I'm cool. Mayday from Space said, did you watch any of the Fox Marvel cartoons? Spider-Man the animated series is still goated. X-Men the animated series, a little corny, but also pretty fun. Oh, did I not
That's
save
one of
me
those
talking
where
to
it's
the
like
fucking
depends on
computer?
the episode you're watching. Like
Yeah.
there's some really like great episodes and then some that are totally throwaway, whatever, you
Well,
know.
that's also the case with Spider-Man, I guess. The stream is frozen. What the fuck? Why?
Frozen.
OBS, I hate you.
Frozen yogurt. Looks like it's good to me.
Okay. Well, nothing happened in the last 10 seconds anyway. I tried to progress normally, but for some reason the game saved before I talked to the computer. So I had to go back and talk to the computer before I could, proceed. They conveniently added a little bug that blocks your forward progress until after you talk to computer, and then the bug disappears. I'm gonna save again. And I already know my mission objective, so shut the fuck up, Adam. Going on my own. Yeah, I watched a lot of superhero cartoons as a kid, and some of them hold up. Most of them do not. Like, I was pretty into that Avengers cartoon, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was like late 2000s, early 2010s, I think. That show was okay. It's not watchable anymore. But when I was a child, it was pretty epic. It's kind of funny to go back and revisit some of it because the voice actor for Tony Stark was so obviously trying to do a Robert Downey Jr. impression, and it was not good. But yeah, I was really big on the Spectacular Spider-Man, which started airing on WB, Kids WB, when I was like maybe 10 years old or something, I don't know. The Spectacular Spider-Man is still really fucking good, even as an adult.
I definitely
quite like it.
remember seeing bits and pieces of Batman the Animated Series, and in particular when that's one of the few shows that did, I think, get rerun on Cartoon Network, and they also reran Batman Beyond, which I never really saw much of, because that one felt a little too edgy for me as a kid. I was very avoidant of edgy stuff as a kid.
Same, yeah.
So,
I
like, if it was edgy on purpose, I guess.
I liked cute and funny things when I was a kid, but yeah, Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond both absolutely fucking rule in small doses, but if you try to like watch several episodes in a row, they're kind of it turns into white noise really fast.
It's that, like, well, and the thing with TV, is that it's, especially before the streaming era, very procedural, where like the point of it is kind of to do the same thing over and over again, because there's not the expectation that you could simply watch it in a binge, like it's meant to be like a part of your routine that you're like making time for. Like, okay, every Thursday at 7:30 I'm gonna be in Batman mode, and I'm gonna like, and so like you kind of want it to be the same thing, because you're looking to be like, you're basically scheduling in a feeling into your life, into your lifestyle. And so it used to be a lot more controversial to make a show have anything happen in it, because that's not really the point. But as like HBO really popularized that like dramatic ongoing narrative where like major characters die and things really change and the tone really shifts, and like the only problem with it that I think hasn't been talked about enough is that almost every show that tries to have like real drama is going to trend in the same direction, which is like either you have to kill everyone and like eventually the show gets really depressing, or it has to just gradually become more and more nonsensical that like these characters are involved in this many scenarios, to the point that you end up with something like that Archie show, that if you've ever heard Super Eye Patch Wolf talk about the fucking Riverdale, that's the one where it's just like, in the course of just trying to make it a normal drama show with ever heightening stakes, it eventually becomes like the multiverse, like Marvel universe type thing that's crossed every genre threshold imaginable. Gintama, I think, was really the first, actually ahead of the curve on being like we're gonna seriously do dramatic narratives and do them really well, but because of the fact that this show has to go on forever, we're also gonna do like the dumbest things you've ever seen, and like we'll just put them right next to each other in the same episode. Fuck it, y'all can sort it out.
You like how I fucking melted that spider on the second try?
Very clean.
This is the Dark Souls of Metroid games. Lucky for me, I'm the Dark Souls of trans people.
Oh my god.
I have space jump now.
That can't be. You're too soft and sweet. You can't be the Dark Souls of trans people. That's got to be like Louise Weird or something. The maker of Castration movie.
Oh my god. I still gotta watch.
Which I think in total is like 8 hours or something. I don't know. It's like incredibly long.
I still haven't seen it, but people who have seen it keep telling me that it's right up my alley and that it feels like something I would have made if I had like 10 years more experience or something.
That makes sense. I definitely think it's hard for me to imagine you wanting to make something that gets as dark and twisted as it does, but at the same time, that's what I think you would like about it. Is that it's not like in that way, not something you would have just made yourself, but like, but it's weird because it is so long, because it really just sits in every scene, and each scene is almost like its own short film in and of itself. And they can be tonally extremely different, and parts of it are just like a bunch of people hanging out in a room type thing, and it's very much got the vibe of like that short film that Rhyme Kickflips did with all of her friends, where like they go to the party and it's just like super awkward, like miscommunication happening around the whole time, but with like little tinges of funny in it, and like that's kind of the vibe of Castration movie. But then there's also parts where it's like pseudo documentary, and then there's parts where it's just like watching someone castrate themselves for 10 minutes, like, so it really runs a gamut.
I gotta see this movie. For Christ's sakes. All this fucking bramble in my way. Come on, game designers, get with it. This is just lazy game design. Fucking cringe. It's right there.
Krona, apparently you are super quiet on their end. Yeah, crank that volume. Crank it to high heaven.
I don't know how to do that. It's a max volume on OBS.
Do you have like a... What does your microphone feed into? Does it have like its own volume?
No.
I guess you could just set me quieter on OBS, then yourself louder. I don't know.
No, I think they're just having a skill issue. Does anyone else think I'm too quiet?
I swear I wasn't hearing the game music until just a second ago, and suddenly I am. Maybe it's just because we were talking over.
Yeah.
I really do think this game is gorgeous.
Fucking bugs.
Yeah, I remember hating this room too. He keeps respawning, I think, so...
It's like 80 of them.
Okay, he's not respawning. Spooky ass music. They all agree you're a bit quiet.
God damn it. I swear this is just fucking Windows' fault every time.
Oh yeah, your Windows volume could be set low, like interior recording volume or whatever. There's so many different like so many different knobs that you go through when you're like, if there's an audio issue, it's always because like either the Focusrite's not turned up enough, or the OBS isn't turned up enough, or some other internal module inside the computer is fucked up, or fucking sensitivity is set too high. It's always something.
Motherfucker. It's always this shit. It's always Windows 11. Fucking defaulting my mic volume to 79. Why is it 79? It should be 100. God damn it.
Yeah, it
Piece
doesn't
of
make much
shit.
sense. Digit said calling it a skill issue. SMH my head.
Digit has lots of skill issues. Not unheard of.
I had thought SMH stood for so much hate for a really long time.
You really thought that? SMH. Stop it. Stop it. Stop touching me. God damn it.
Wonder how many people like just have the wrong impression of what various acronyms mean.
See, Cypher says now you're louder. Yeah,
Yeah.
I turned it up to 100 as I was yelling about how it should be at 100 by default.
Shade was saying that there's people who think that LOL means lots of love.
Yeah, it's like boomers.
I was wondering, like, if people see, because I use IG a lot to mean I guess, but people probably think I'm saying I'm gangsta.
Instagram.
Or Instagram, yeah. Just randomly at the end of every sentence saying Instagram.
Fucking young people these days and their Instagrams. Just say it at the end of every sentence now. Fucking idiots. What was that?
Shade's laughing at my idea of me saying I'm gangsta randomly at the end of each sentence.
Holy shit! Do I have to find a recharge station or something? What is wrong with this fucking thing?
Nisa said I didn't know what XD was for the longest time. I used those
Okay.
fucking relentlessly too, especially back in the day.
Life hack, powerbomb.
I
Fuck.
got a lot of shit in my mid-teens when I first started anime blogging because I would use emojis and SMS speak like just in my writing a lot, and everyone else is like, this is unreadable, like I can't even tell what and I would just misspell shit all the time too. So
How dare you put
like, I wouldn't
emoticons in
read
your
the post
fucking
back.
anime blog, you whore. If you did this on a school paper, you would get an F.
Well, like, initially I would ignore people when they would complain about that kind of stuff, but then when like people I respected and admired were telling me like, yeah, the reason nobody reads your blog is like you don't spell check your posts, and like I was just at the time I was just insecure about the writing quality, that if I were to read it back I would find out it's bad and I wouldn't know how to fix it, basically. So I would be scared to read my posts back but also expect other people to read them, so like I'd always be whining about how no one was like responding to my posts, and then people finally were like, well, it's kind of hard to fucking read them, like. And then I finally did, like, when someone told me that, I finally did read one of my posts back and like realized it was actually almost illegible. Like the level of mistakes was like I couldn't even tell what I was talking about in certain sentences. So I was like, okay, I need to change. I gotta read these back out loud.
Game is
Plenty
making
of
me
times,
fucking crap my pants.
All of my
and
old
breathe.
writing is easy to find because you could just go to my old blog and fucking go to the oldest posts there, and
Yeah. It's called My Sword is Unbelievably Dull.
yeah,
And it's
my
peak.
sword is unbelievably dull.
There are dinosaurs here.
It was originally called Digital Boys Anime Blogging because I just had no idea for a name.
Whoa,
And then
epic.
then it was called Euphoric Field for a long time, which is from the anime F: A Tale of Memories. It's the name of the opening theme. And then
Progress?
and then I bought like domain hosting for a time, and that was when it was fuzakenda.com. And then when I stopped paying for domain hosting is when it became my sword is unbelievably dull, and I just left it like that from then on. Then I lost the password like 7 years ago, so I haven't used it since. It's because it was connected to an old Yahoo, like a Yahoo email that got hacked. So I can't like do a password recovery or whatever because I can't get into the Yahoo email.
Wait. This game is evil. Evil, evil, evil.
Evil video game.
Cringe, normie.
Digit said I thought Lamau meant lame-o. It was bad. People kept calling me lame in RuneScape. It's hilarious.
It's a pretty epic autism moment. Adding you to my cringe compilation. Where do I go?
Molasses.
This game sucks. I don't know where to go.
Oh yeah, so neither one of us has played Metroid Prime 4 yet, right?
Of course not.
Did you watch the Donkey video?
I did.
What did you think of Donkey's video? Like what impression did you get? I guess what impression did that video leave you with of Metroid Prime 4 and your interest in it?
I mean, my interest level is basically unchanged. I've never been really huge on any of the Prime games except the first one, and I didn't expect Prime 4 to like blow me away or anything. Like my feeling about it has always been cautious optimism since the first like announcement. You know, like they've had lots of trailers and stuff over the ages, over the last century it was in development, and there's just nothing looked particularly promising about it. They're like, in this new video game, Samus has a motorcycle and psychic powers. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I could take that or leave that. It doesn't matter.
The psychic power stuff really took me for a loop. I didn't know I hadn't researched it that much, I guess. So when I saw that in Donkey's video, I was like, what the fuck? Why is she an Esper? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, like they showed that in some Nintendo Direct. I'm like, okay, so you can like hold left trigger to open doors. Who cares? You know, it didn't look that interesting to me. I'm just like, to me, what makes or breaks a Metroid game, it's something you can only really figure out by playing it yourself. It's something you have to feeling out like the world map and stuff. And, you know, like it was the same with Metroid Dread. It was cautious optimism all the way up till release, and then I played it, and I remained skeptical until I beat it and then played it a second time. Then I was like, yeah, it's peak. Like, I had to really sit with it for a minute, you know?
It was the surrealness of watching that video for me was like, for the most part, Donkey seemed relatively impressed and like having an okay time, other than that he really hated the Mackenzie guy, you know? And
What am I doing here?
like when I tried to divorce myself from the idea that it's a Metroid game and just take it as a video game, I'm like, the art design is neat. Like it looks cool. It doesn't look cool the same way other Metroid games do. It's more like a psychedelic Halo, but like it does have an interesting like look and feel to it, but at the same time it doesn't seem like impressive to me. Like it's like neat. It feels very like normal, like what I would expect a AAA game to look like. And like if the name Metroid wasn't on it and it was just something I saw footage of, I would think, oh, that's just some new Ubisoft game. You know, like I just would never have assumed it was Metroid.
Yeah.
From looking at it. And like there's certain features about it that are like, he kept talking about the environments and like all the environmental detail, and that is very Metroid particularly Metroid Prime.
fuck.
Like it's something Retro Studios has done well in all of the Metroid Prime games, even when they were changing everything else about them, you know? So like in that sense of like it does play to this one strength of that sub franchise really well, but it also just changes so many things that like fundamentally shift the feel of Metroid so that it just again to me doesn't really resemble the experience I'm looking for from Metroid, even including Metroid Prime. But again, that was already the case for 2 and 3 with me, just like with you, where like
Yeah.
I already viewed those as like, well, this is an interesting video game, but it's not for me, you know.
Yeah, particularly Metroid 3. It's just like I look at all the things people are saying about Prime 4, and I'm like, this is just 3 all over again, which is just
Yeah.
disappointing because like I feel like it should be obvious by now, like 20 fucking years later or whatever, what was wrong with Prime 3. So for them to just do that again is like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, have they not watched a single like YouTube video? Have they not read any reviews of
Yeah.
their game? Like what the
Well,
hell?
and it's also like, you know, how many different incarnations did this thing actually have over the last 13 years, you know? Like that's such a long dev cycle. It's literally the same dev cycle as Duke Nukem Forever. Like
Yeah.
that game took 13 years and we made fun of it relentlessly for that. And like I think that game was more on the face of it offensive, so people were like, you know, more directly like, oh yeah, this is like not just a disappointment but an embarrassment, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Metroid Prime 4 is an embarrassment like that, but it just, you know, again, it looks like, yeah, this will probably be a fine video game for plenty of people who like maybe have never even played one of these games and wouldn't like the other ones, you know.
This is so ass. How do I refill my health? One of these guys dropped like a red X parasite and that healed me all the way last time. No, it's not doing that. Die.
Mayday said it looks exactly like Anthem to me. Nisa said Anthem, damn, that's a low blow. I think that's what Donkey said when he saw Mackenzie. He was like, is this an Anthem character? Like,
He said, "Is this a Forspoken character?" And then I looked in
Forspoken, that's
I think I looked in the comments and someone said he was from like he like looked like he dropped out of Concord right before it got canceled or something.
yeah. God, all those games in my mind are the same game. All 3 of those that we just named are in my brain.
It's a very
The same
particular
game.
flavor of millennial cringe.
Yeah.
It's like that. It feels weird to say, because it just it starts to feel like Twitter discourse levels of like we're really nitpicking shit here, but like it is kind of true. Like I've noticed this flavor in a lot of games and stuff, and like HBO shows. Like okay, my go-to example for a while has been in the Spider-Man game on the PS4. There's just a moment where Spider-Man is like making a game plan with Mary Jane and Miles. They're just sitting on the curb talking about what they're going to do, doing the generic like movie dialogue, like, okay, we need a plan. You do this and this, and then that's it. And then I'm explaining what you just said to me so the dumb audience can understand it. Yes, correct. And then you. And while they're doing this whole conversation, Miles comes in and like they said, he went in to get you a drink of water, and he comes in carrying a box of water bottles, and he's like, hey, so I didn't know if you wanted like regular or sparkling or this kind or that kind, but I got them all. I got all of them for you. And he puts it down, and he just kind of looks around at them all awkwardly and says, am I interrupting anything? And just his whole demeanor through that, I was like, it's like, is there like a school where they go to teach actors how to do the exact same brand of comic relief? Because this isn't really funny. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like I am acting like Funny Man right now, but it like, did everyone
It's
just
like,
watch
people
Avatar
who-
and try to become Sokka? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, Sokka or like Shia LaBeouf. Like the Shia LaBeouf archetype, which like was, it's weird, like, because I remember when I was a kid finding the Shia LaBeouf archetype somewhat endearing, because I was like, I did see it as like, oh, he's like a young person, like a smart aleck, like a young smart aleck, you know. But then like it quickly got old even from him,
fucking
and
close.
then everyone else starts doing that, and it's like, wait, hold on, no, we did not need more Shia LaBeouf. Like Shia LaBeouf was already too much Shia LaBeouf. Now we've got a bunch of it.
Mayday from Space said Guardians of the Galaxy ruined media forever.
You mean Scott Pilgrim?
God damn it. It's probably more accurate.
What was that fucking song? The Ramona Flowers ruined a generation of women song. Which at the time that song came out, I was like, I didn't think Scott Pilgrim was popular enough to like ruin a generation of anything, but I feel like it has somehow become more like it's like Ramona as a character has kind of transcended Scott Pilgrim to become like an archetype of an actual human somehow.
Yeah. I freaking love Scott Pilgrim, but that is definitely one of those like movies where because unfortunately the protagonist is like a dickhead and that's the point. There's lots of real life dickheads who watch it and not picking up on that and just thinking, wow, Scott's just like me. That's cool. Even though everyone in the movie calls him an asshole and a douchebag.
I guess Michael Cera would also be an example of like the milky boy that sort of started the millennial
always been
way of being.
I'm
soft boy.
Huge fan of the comic, more so than the movie. I love the movie, but I'm a bigger fan of the comic book of Scott Pilgrim, and my biggest gripe has always been that Michael Cera is too cute.
Yeah,
like
Scott should have been more like a dweeb. I don't know.
Like I get it, because that's kind of the point, because how would he attract girls otherwise if he wasn't cute at all? But like, I don't know.
Well, I think it's more like Michael Cera is cute in like it's hard to believe that he's that much of an asshole kind of a way.
Yeah.
You know, where like it's not so much that Scott needed to not be good looking. Like he's in a band, you know, he's like a cool guy in theory. It's just that his actual person, like he hangs out with cool people, you know, but he's just like the shittiest member of his group of friends, basically.
That's the funny thing, is that his friends aren't even that cool either. They're all kind of like huge losers with no jobs. And like they just fuck around all day.
Normal millennials.
Yeah. It was like, I think there's some story that Brian Lee O'Malley based all those characters off of his real life friends, and then when his real life friends read the comic book, they hated it because they saw too much of themselves, like it was too real, and they were just like, oh, this makes me hate myself.
I feel like all of that is almost self-evident in the text to be like, oh yeah, this is somebody just reflecting on what it's like to, you know, be in your 20s surrounded by other 20-somethings.
Yeah, exactly.
I never took it as particularly insulting so much as like it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But to see yourself represented in that way, it's like to realize how you look to other people, I think is the real horror for those people.
It awakened self-awareness for
Yeah.
Well, and also it being like ahead of the curve in that way, that it was probably like there's a great article by Film Crit Hulk about the idea that Scott Pilgrim like represented the zeitgeist of its moment.
Yeah.
And he compared it, because the same guy who directed the movie, he also had a TV show called Spaced, and the Spaced show is kind of like similar, like the types of characters that are in it is very similar to Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
And like the idea, like both of them were just kind of the first shows to be about people of that like early millennial generation, you know, like the first people who grew up with video games, the first people who grew up with like TV being, you know, 24-hour news cycle being like a normal part of life. And like I think that's what Scott Pilgrim captures. It's like that the super disaffected early millennials before you got the late millennials like me, who like were early internet adopters and kind of set the tone for Zoomers to be like hyper online and
yeah, for sure,
move the culture out from underground.
I really love all of Brian Lee O'Malley's comics. I mean, I haven't read Snot Girl, but like I have his other books on my shelf, and I especially love how each of his books reflects like a different moment in his life. Like his first graphic novel, Lost at Sea, it's about a teenager dealing with like, you know, trauma from a relationship that ended recently. And then his second book was Scott Pilgrim, which is about being in your 20s. being a dipshit and learning how to not be a dipshit. And then his third graphic novel was called Seconds, which is about a woman in her early 30s who owns a restaurant and has to learn to like appreciate the life she has, which is fucking great. It's probably the most archetypal out of his books, but I think it's really fucking excellent.
It's just tightly done, you know? It's just like really well written and constructed.
Yeah.
One of those that like you can come back and read it again and it still holds up no matter.
Totally.
Because it's just good.
The colors are so fucking pleasing to my eyeballs. Oh my god, Seconds is one of the prettiest fucking books.
Yeah, Snot Girl is also really fun, and I would recommend it. I've only read the first volume, but it's about being a social media influencer, so
Pog.
You know, relatable.
I remember when that guy announced his next graphic novel, and then like a few years later, people were like, "Whatever happened to that novel?" And he was like, "I announced it too early. It's not done." And that's been like 8 or 9 years or something, and we got a Scott Pilgrim anime and still no book. So that's interesting.
Well, I guess he was probably working on the Scott Pilgrim anime.
Yeah, I guess.
Not writing the book.
We gotta make a Scott Pilgrim cinematic universe, you see.
Oh yeah, Mayday pointed out John Green's young adult literary dominance at the same time also contributed to this milky millennial nerd fighter. Honestly, that might be the biggest thing, the nerd fighters, the like self-embracing dorkiness of that whole, which I appreciate and I think is a good thing for culture, but like, yeah, their humor is...
Is John Green the Freddy Got Fingered guy, or am I thinking of someone else?
You thinking of Tom Green?
Tom Green, yeah.
No,
Say.
John Green...
Oh, wow, like
John
Freddy Got
Green and
Fingered is
Hank
more
Green
influential than I thought.
John Green and Hank Green are the Vlog brothers.
Okay.
They're like very famous YouTubers in the science and education sector.
Daddy,
like,
would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like
probably
some
two of the
sausages?
most influential YouTubers ever. Because their gimmick is that it's two brothers who make their videos like to one another. Like each one starts off like, you know, hey Hank, and then they'll like explain some concept, and so it's like they're writing notes back and forth through their videos, which I was trying to copy with Victor, but he didn't keep making vlogs. We did like a little back and forth like early this year.
Yeah, I remember. Go yell at Victor, get him to make more videos.
You ever seen the Crash Course videos by chance?
The Crash Course, maybe a long time ago.
Like educational videos. Yeah, that was them. The Vlog brothers. And of course, the John Green books in question is The Fault in Our Stars. That was his big, huge hit book with a film adaptation that I'm sure you've heard of.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage? I cannot be blamed for having learned 50 new vocal stems from Freddy Got Fingered. It's Josh's fault.
I like how your brain got stuck on a completely unrelated film by another guy with green in his last name.
Stupidest fucking movie ever. I'm gonna have to
Tom
make
Green,
the...
also an important pioneer in the space of internet content creation.
I'm gonna have to make the
It was like
H-Bomber
the
guy
first
style
podcast.
video about that movie. Freddy Got Fingered is a masterpiece, and here's why.
There's I think Red Letter Media did a
Yep.
review of it, and that's
Yep.
the main exposure I've had to that film.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it when I was really bored one afternoon after work, and I told Josh, like, yeah, so I watched this like really weird movie called Freddy Got Fingered, and he's like, you watched that without me? And I was like, yeah, I'll watch it again. And he was like, okay, and then we watched it again the next day.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a y'all type of a movie.
This is stupidest fucking movie. I think it had like a
I don't know. Looking for Alaska. I assume that's another John Green one.
had like a maybe 7% Rotten Tomatoes score. like one of those movies like most people will
It's
fucking
designed
hate
for
it.
critics to hate. Like
It's the
Ground
movie.
up.
It's like a 90-minute shit post. It's not a real movie.
yeah. But it's like a really high effort shit post.
It's so brilliant. I love the metaphor at the end of the movie where he gets like $1 million for drawing cartoons, and then he immediately spends the whole $1 million on dumb shit like having his dad shipped to Pakistan and buying a bag of jewels for his girlfriend. It's like, this is just what the story of making the movie. Gave him a budget and he blew it all on the dumbest shit.
As you should.
Most expensive shit post possible. I wish
One
Hollywood
of
would
my
give
favorite
me...
one of my favorite 90s metal bands, Typo Negative, after their first album, they were given a budget to make a live album. And instead what they made is a fake live album where they just took like canned crowd noise and stuff and like just performed in the studio but made it sound kind of live, and you know, just smoked all the budget on dope.
It's so real.
Real rock star shit.
God damn it.
This music is very Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, it's time to make the fucking save state because this is going to hurt my feelings like 30 times over. Save state. Here.
Save state.
Because this is the actual hardest boss fight.
Oh.
How do I get that E-tank? Okay.
Oh, you have to fight the fucking guy that looks like Relinquished from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Gotta fight the nightmare. Remember when they brought this guy back in Metroid Other M? I'm gonna kill
Okay,
people.
maybe he doesn't have like Relinquished from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I need to watch more Yu-Gi-Oh! Show kind of rips.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty sick.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to
The-
duel!
The anime versus manga comparison is fascinating
Yeah.
because the whole hologram thing is not in the manga until like I think because it's
Sucks.
in the anime it's confusing because they go to the island and on the island they've got like these giant things set up where they have like holographic matches. And then the idea is that Kaiba has invented like an arm thing that's like a miniaturized version of it that lets him do hologram stuff out of his little arm thing. And then by the time of Battle City, that technology's become normalized and like everybody has it. But in the manga, during the island arc, they're just like sitting at tables and it's all theater of the mind. Like they're just imagining that these monsters are like appearing and fighting and stuff, and the guys are literally just sitting at a table playing a card game, and there's no holograms or anything. So the anime is definitely more conceptually exciting. Like it feels like they took it and they went, okay, how do we make this more like epic for TV? But it also has like really slow pacing, so you gotta be prepared for that. But I think it holds up surprisingly well.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
And especially watching the dub, if you have grown up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged like I have, then watching regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Dubbed is still really funny because it is the voices the Abridged is making fun of, and so you constantly are thinking about the way that they sound in Abridged when you're watching the regular show.
This is so fucking strange.
What the fuck? Man, I totally don't remember this fight at all.
This is awful.
It's been such a long time since I actually played this far into this game.
I still don't know what the proper way is to do this part. Just shoot his little nub till it breaks. His little nipple. Oh god. Get away. Oh,
I
no.
found out.
Oh, it's
I learned some stuff about my about the town I live in of Norfolk. I was doing I've been doing lots of like geography research and history research, just trying to learn more about the world and shit, and especially here. And I was just like looking at Google Maps and like, you know, what's around, and I found out that there was this place called Yak Nook in Norfolk. And I was like, what the fuck is a Yak Nook? Like, means nothing to me. So I look it up, and they're like the home of Yakamane noodles, a Norfolk tradition. And I was like, what? Like, first of all, I've never heard of anything being a Norfolk tradition, much less something called Yakamane. And so I start looking into what the fuck is Yakamane, and it's described as Chinese soul food. So now I'm fully intrigued. And what it is in the 40s, Chinese restaurants in this area, in order to appeal more to the black community, started making like a version of a lo mein that is also chicken noodle soup. And how they did this is first they just take spaghetti noodles, cook up spaghetti noodles, cook it with like chicken broth, boiled chicken, like soy sauce, ketchup, and some boiled eggs. And when you look at it, it looks like an attempt to make ramen. Like, it just straight up looks like what I would describe as ghetto ramen noodles. But it's made by Chinese people for the black community in Norfolk, and was apparently massively popular. This started in like the 40s. And by the 60s, it had spread all over the East Coast. And so Philadelphia has their own Yakamane, and Baltimore has a Yakamane, and New Orleans has a Yakamane. But it originated here. And unfortunately, because of the rising costs of food ingredients, it is no longer served almost anywhere, because it used to just be like super cheap and simple. So it's just something you could just make like fast, and it costed nothing. That changed enough over time that most places stopped making it. So pretty much you can only really get it at this Yak Nook place, and it's like an old guy who's been making the noodles since the 60s or whatever, and like he makes one dish a day. So it's like if you come in to eat there, you can just get that dish. And I'm gonna do it. I gotta know about what Yakamane tastes like, even if it doesn't look like it looks like the point is that it's cheap and not necessarily that it's good. But you know, I need to know the Norfolk tradition before it is
So
aged out of existence.
This boss fight fucking sucks.
Nisa said, in New York City, a lot of the Chinese spots are definitely made for the black community for sure, just places to get cheap food. That is absolutely the case here as well, because a lot of the Chinese restaurants are like just outside of like low rent neighborhoods here, and nothing else really is. Like, fucking the layout of Norfolk and Virginia Beach is horrible. Like, it's getting around with no car is nearly impossible. But like, there's nothing built into neighborhoods, so you pretty much always have to walk out of a neighborhood to get to like a convenience store, and maybe like, if you're lucky, you know, a Chinese restaurant or like a convenience store that has a grill in the back of it type thing, which are very good. Like, the ones they have here are very good, but like, you know, there's maybe a couple of them in walking distance of whatever neighborhood you're in. Not a walkable place.
Kinda cringe.
And I think the main reason for that is that it's all built around like waterways, and so like there was no sane way to build the city here, so they shouldn't have, but they did anyway. That's how I feel about much of America's infrastructure.
Yeah. It
This didn't
stinks.
need to be built, but they did it, so now it's here. I learned about a bunch of obscure island nations and big cities around the world.
I wish I knew things about stuff.
You just gotta research it. I know all this stuff because I watched YouTube.
I was gonna say research,
Well, I
but I
guess-
can't read. But I can watch
With the
videos.
Yakumain, like for instance, that process of discovery went like, I'm on Google Maps, I see Yaknook, I go, what the fuck is that? I go to the website, I learned that Yakumain is a thing and it's a Norfolk tradition. So then I Google Yakumain and I search it on YouTube, and I found like locals making like recipe videos, none of which were like major. Like there was no like mainstream YouTube channel that had a Yakumain recipe. It was just like people from here. And then I found a podcast that's like an NPR style podcast called Gravy that is dedicated to like changing trends of food in the South. And the Gravy podcast had like a whole 30-minute episode on Yakumain, and that's where I learned all of the information I stated earlier. But yeah, that's how my research process works usually, is just like get curious about a thing, see how much information about that thing is on the internet, and then consume all of that, and typically just stop there unless it's something I could investigate personally. Like in the case of Yaknook, like I can go there and, you know, try it out. So that would be like the final phase of discovery. Unless it was like so incredibly good that I was like, everyone needs to know about fucking Yakumain, and I tried to do a full revival. That would be the true final phase of discovery. Closer to what I'm doing with Turn A Gundam, of being like, this show should be it should be an easily recognizable classic. It should be one of those shows that you're just like, oh yeah, here's a list of classic anime, Turn A Gundam. And like, that's not really the status it enjoys unless you're talking to mecha fans. And that should change. So that's part of my mission.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Kinda
shit
similar with-
is if it ain't got no Kirito.
Revolutionary Girl Utena had a similar kind of thing, and I've been bringing this up in my Turn A Gundam videos, but since I know some of y'all haven't seen them, I'll re-explain it here. That like, in the 2000s when I was an anime blogger, like Utena was not a popular show at all in the sense of like being in discourse. Like no one was talking about it. No one, like I had seen a couple of people who had it at the top of their favorites list, and they were people who I super respected because they were great writers. And so I always looked at it as like, oh, it must be like a classic anime because all these people who have like really good taste are talking about it. And they'd always be like, it's so full of symbolism and like, you know, it's just this amazing experimental crazy thing. And so like I finally watched it in like 2007, and most of it went over my head. You know, I was like, that was cool, but I didn't really understand most of what I just saw. And so like a year later, I was kind of getting upset because I was like, well, why is nobody talking? Like this show, I know it's supposed to be like the best anime, but like nobody's talking about it. So how do we make it happen? And so I was like, even though like I don't really understand this show that well, I'm going to try to analyze it episode by episode so that I can understand it. And I was like, I'm going to do it one episode a week, and I really encourage everyone else to join me. So I made like a really big deal about like everybody should blog about Revolutionary Girl Utena episodically. Like, let's all watch it together. I only made it 3 episodes in myself, but all the people who I told like to get in on it did. And like, so Ghost Lightning ends up writing, you know, every arc. He does like a whole post about it. I've got this dude, Anime Critique, writing about it. I got a few people who were already fans finally writing about it, you know, and then it kind of spread through the blogging community. And by the end of this, it's on almost everyone's favorites list now, you know, like everyone's talking about how this is one of the best anime. And so by the time we get to, and I'm not going to take credit for this show getting as popular as it is now, but like the Tumblr era did like an even bigger version of that, where it was basically like, you know, during the era where people were posting magical girl aesthetic shit all over Tumblr, you know, all of a sudden Utena emerges as like this peak aesthetic anime that nobody's fucking heard of. But because like the Sailor Moon crowd finally caught. It's literally the team who made Sailor Moon made this show so that they can make an edgier Sailor Moon. So when the kids who grew up with Sailor Moon finally grew up enough to recognize, like, oh, there's like a cool adult Sailor Moon, then like that version caught on. So I'm kind of hoping we'll see that with Turn A, where like just through people like me talking about it and being like, hey, this isn't just like a cool mecha anime for mecha nerds. It's like a legitimately great show that like anybody would enjoy, the same way that, you know, we don't consider Gurren Lagann to be like only for mecha fans or whatever. Like, not that there's really, if a show is only for mecha fans, what that really means is it's not a good show, except that it has mecha, you know?
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. It's finally happened.
Kona's gotten full ass Metroid lost. But hey, I think I made the argument in my series that this is an intentional, like, this is a necessary part of the real Metroid experience. Is like, if you don't at least one time like feel truly lost, then, you know, the game doesn't have that magic.
This game is objectively bad. And you can tell that I'm right because I've got a British accent. That is the mark of a true video essayist.
I learned about a place called the Comoros, which is like 2 islands that are between Madagascar and mainland Africa. And there's another one next to them that's like owned by France. I don't remember the name of that one, but I was researching them just because I was like, oh, there's so many like random island nations that like if you're just looking at a globe, you won't notice them because they're tiny as fuck, you know? So like you have to really be playing around with Google Earth to start noticing, like, wait a minute, there's islands over there. Are those a thing? Oh, they are a thing. Sometimes it'll be like there's just a volcano and then like a little town next to it. And you're like, oh shit, this is a place. People live here. The east coast of the USA does not have a lot of islands because they are mostly sunken and continuing to sink. And I think most of the eastern seaboard, as we know it, will be underwater by the time we are old.
We're in the real Metroid shit now, baby.
I'm in the fucking trenches. I'm in the fucking Metroid trenches. All of you fucking infants were playing Fortnite. I was in the Metroid trenches.
I gotta go pee. I'll be back.
Does anyone remember when video games were good? Oh wait, they still are, because I'm not stupid. Don't sit around playing fucking Anthem all day. I am a quality gamer. That's why I play Mickey Mousecapade for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That's a lie, no one played Anthem. Oh, you'd be surprised. Or that feeling when feeling of being a kid in school, being way into video games, and you have like friends who are kind of into video games, but they don't play remotely the same kind of video games, so there's nothing to talk about. Fucking sucks. Have that kid who like looks at me, he's just like, hey, you play video games? I'm like, yeah. He's like, Xbox, PlayStation. I'm like, I have a Nintendo. And he's like, oh, and then just stops talking to me. Painful experience. Owning a Wii U, when the Wii U was like the current thing, it was kind of like telling people that you had contracted an STD. It's just this awkward, like, pregnant pause in the room. Fuck.
back from hell.
Beatrice, what is your favorite video game and why is it FIFA?
FIFA. I don't think I've ever played FIFA.
Me neither.
I don't know. I don't think I've played a soccer game before at all.
What about Madden?
I remember
I know you love
NFL
Madden.
2K2. That's the only fucking sport game I can remember. Like traditional
ball.
sport, I mean.
Traditional sport ball. This is always the part I get fucking stuck on, is this shit right here.
I don't even remember this shit. But this is
Fuck off.
I love this aesthetic, the C-punk.
This part of the game haunts me because I literally would get stuck every time. No matter how many times I played the game, I'd be like, where the fuck do I go again? I need my computer to tell me where to go. I don't know where I am. Daddy, Adam, I need you
I
to
hope
tell
everyone
me.
has appreciated like the contradiction of this game being like simultaneously the most hand-holding and also by far the most difficult yet.
Yeah, this game fucking blows ass. You're right. This is the... Nah, I feel like if YouTube was a thing when this game came out, there would have been a ton of video essays explaining why this is the shitty one. Why this is the Dark Souls 2 and Metroid.
That's such a heavy criticism, but I know you don't hate Dark Souls 2 nearly as much as I do.
The internet hates that game so hard, and I don't understand why, when everything that sucks about it is about equal in terms of suckage compared to the things that suck about Dark Souls 1.
No,
Like, okay, no.
it's the controls. It's 100% the controls.
Oh, the controls
That
are
are
like...
just, like
The controls are whatever. It's like, yeah, you can only move in 8 directions. Ew. Like, that doesn't, like, ruin the game for me.
It looks so... The animations are so, like, glidey and weightless and just, like, wrong to me. It, like... Because, like, the main appeal of Dark Souls to me is
God, this shit
the
again.
way that it feels to, like, run around and hit stuff, you know? Like, it's super satisfying, and Dark Souls 2 is just... doesn't have that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say, oh, I like Dark Souls 2 because all the criticisms are wrong. I should say I like Dark Souls 2 just because I have fun playing it. So I acknowledge all the things that are wrong with it. They just simply do not bother me as much as they would if I didn't like the moment-to-moment experience of playing it. It's just a game that feels nice. I enjoy the
I feel
ambiance and the
total opposite.
atmosphere.
I think it feels like hell.
Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to really, is just does the sensory experience of it overpower the clunkiness, and if it doesn't for you, then it's like, yeah, we're just at an impasse. It's fine.
Yeah, I just find it like it's ugly.
Yeah.
The level design's not interesting. The enemies are stupid. It's frustrating. It's like movement looks bad. Like
See, I think all of those problems
to me,
are...
it's literally unplayable. Like I can't even get like a couple hours into it without just like rage quitting.
It's funny because I feel like all those criticisms are true in some parts of the game, but not all. And I would also say that about Dark Souls 1 and 3. Like, those games have some shitty animations and some ugly parts and some, you know. But it's like, you know, I still love them as a whole. It's like overall the experience is great. I'd say Dark Souls 1 is definitely a game of like higher highs and lower lows. I think
Yeah,
Dark Souls 2 is more just like closer to mediocre the whole time. Where Dark Souls 1 is really like, this is amazing, and then it sucks, and then the DLC is amazing again.
It's Lost Isolith. Lost Isolith is the problem.
The Bed of Chaos is the single worst boss fight out
And
of
the Bed of
all
Chaos.
of those games. Out of every single one of them. Dark Souls 2,
I've just never had it.
Sekiro,
I've
whatever
never
the
had
fuck.
a ton of trouble with it for some reason, but I've only ever fought it a couple times, so I can see why it would be way more aggravating if you're like running through the game
Yeah.
and like it's like a speedrun killer, you know, like
Yeah,
you
it's...
could be really
it's-
making time and then suddenly you're just, oh, now I'm fighting this guy for half an hour, like
Yeah, it's just one of those things. No matter how many times I play the game, that's the one part that just will fuck me over. I have never figured out how to do it consistently. It's just, all right, time to spend 10 to 30 minutes fighting the bed of chaos until I get lucky. That shit sucks. Like, at least in Dark Souls 2, the boss fights suck, but they're all pretty easy, so I don't have to worry about it that much. Like, oh, it's the fucking covetous demon again. Oh, look, it's dead. Moving on.
Mayday
God
said
damn
H-Bomb
this.
red pilled me on Dark Souls 2. I hated those videos.
Okay, I love H-Bomber Guy, but his Dark Souls 2 defense is like my least favorite video he's ever done. I feel like he made the game look worse than it is while trying to say it was good.
I also just remember it being like very repetitive. Like I have a H-Bomber guy will say the same exact thing like 6 times in a video, and I'm just like, okay, dude, you
Oh,
said
God.
that.
Have you tried sitting through Mahler's response videos?
No.
It's
God,
like
no.
It's like that. but,
Hell
like,
no.
It's just a 10-hour version of that. It's torture.
I can't make it through a minute of Mahler's voice. That's like one of the hardest, most insufferable, like, fucking things imaginable.
I tried listening to his The Last Jedi review, and I got about 5 minutes in, and I was like, does he like make this awful on purpose to weed out the normies? Is it like your technique?
I definitely have the feeling of like the assignment is to use as many words as possible. Like,
Yeah.
it really reminds me of
I make
like
the
when
most
I was in,
thorough critique
when I was
out of
in-
anyone on YouTube. That means my critique is the best one because I say the most words.
yeah. Like the
fucking
content
smart.
was for 4 hours worth of content. It's just like an hour of content that took 4 hours to say.
Exactly.
But yeah, like it reminds me of when I was in high school because I used to like at least at the school I went to is not like a particularly good school. So most students were struggling to even like write a paragraph for an essay, and because I could, I would always kind of show off and write as, you know, like fill all the space basically like on the page, or as long as it was asked to be, I would always go to the maximum because I just can, you know. And then it wasn't until I had a college writing class where a professor stopped me and was like, well, you keep going, like I told you this was supposed to be 500 to 700 words and it's 1,000 words, so you need to cut 300 words, you know. And like that really changed my whole perspective on like
Yeah.
more writing is not always better, you know. It's just more impressive to people who don't write because they're thinking, oh, I could never write that much. And it's like, yeah, but if somebody can write that much, then they're not going to be impressed by the fact that you know, used more words than necessary. And that's exactly how I feel about Mahler. It's just like, ugh, like for me as a writer, this is exhausting. This
Yeah.
is just so much more than necessary to make the point.
His points
Hello?
also kind of suck, like at least half the time.
Oh yeah, he's never saying anything interesting in his film reviews.
I am very thorough in my critique. I'm so very thorough that I'm so intelligent that it will take 12 hours to explain my argument. You won't understand it if it doesn't take 12 hours because it's just so fucking deep.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna check in with Bird because I saw him awake and I thought he was napping.
Fuck. Low on health and this sucks. Fuck. Fuck, I'm out of power bombs too. What? Okay. I'm scared. I'm so low on health. This is so cringe. Okay. Data room. Give me the juice.
Yes.
I forgot the diffusion beam was in this game. They brought this back in Dread, and I thought it was like a new thing. Freeze everything. Yeah. Finally, recharge. Gotta be near the end of the game now. I killed Nightmare. It's like the toughest boss fight ever. Surely we're like 5 minutes from the end of the game, right? Surely.
Wait. I'll be up and down a little bit. I'm cooking him some, reheating some leftovers.
Borgar!
Borgar.
The computer is mad at me because I unlocked doors and got an upgrade without his permission. Sorry,
no.
Daddy didn't authorize my diffusion beam.
I forgot that was even like part of the plot in this game. I really did forget like everything that happens after the spider because the last time I played this, I didn't make it past that.
Samus, I'm authorizing you to use the bathroom. You don't have to shit your pants, Samus.
What Adam didn't realize is that I already pooped myself. It was only out of respect for his commanding authority.
Metroid Other M, folks.
Her spacesuit gotta have a built-in toilet, though. Just like Darth Vader. Has like a septic tank on the back.
Have you seen that, there's like a YouTube Shorts or TikTok or whatever bit where it's a guy and it's supposed to be like the boardroom making decisions about like how to construct a certain plot. He'll be like, yes, give it, take all of the things that were bad about Metroid Fusion and let's make them worse. Yes, like that's the Metroid Other M development room.
Oh my god.
Why are there so many bugs?
I'm supposed to find the fucking robot that I fought like 30 years ago. Why? We got to be like right near the end of the game. I swear.
I would think.
We killed Nightmare.
Especially
that means
because you're
there's
in like a dark cave, and I feel like that's always
yeah.
these always end with like a really dark area
Yeah.
where the Metroids show up.
Yeah.
Had the Metroids showed up yet? Are there Metroids in this game?
Somewhere. Yeah.
I think you like are the last Metroid at this point or something.
Well, it's like part of the plot that like because the station mimics the habitat of SR-388. The twist all along is that they've been making the space station so that they could clone new Metroids from the Super Metroid
That makes
that died.
sense.
So they use that tissue sample to cure Samus of her X-parasite, but then they also had that, because they had that Metroid DNA, they were able to make more of it. Because the Galactic Federation is the government, and the government bad.
This cave looks just like where like one of the fighting backgrounds in Tales of Fantasia.
I haven't played any of the Tales of games.
Oh man.
I have seen Fantasia though. That movie sucks.
This is with a PH. Tales of Fantasia is like the most standard JRPG you could imagine, but it's pretty fun. It's alright. The Tales of games, I've always joked that they are for whoever happens to be 14 at that particular moment.
Yeah.
But some of them are a little bit more adult. Like some of them will have a adult protagonist and don't feel quite so like teenage, but they are very much RPG du jour, but with cool combat. Usually have like fairly fun characters. They're very like character interaction driven, where like when you're walking around the world map, there'll just be random moments you can hit Z and like bring up a cutscene, and the characters just start having like anime conversations. Might be the most that a game just feels like you're watching a 50 episode anime, but in the form of a game, which is really what got me into RPGs. Was like
Yeah.
that Tales of Symphonia was like, oh, this is like I actually got to see the whole long anime.
Yeah.
You know, when as a kid I almost never would get to see a show like in full.
Fuck, I have no idea where this robot is or how to find it.
Robot.
Rabbit.
I'll be back when I go and get that sandwich.
Sandwich. Borgar.
What the hell? I'm on the verge of Googling. I'm so sick of this shit, man.
Now, you see, the game starts out linear, but then it opens up more in the second half. It's just fucking obtuse as shit. You have no idea where to go or what you're doing. We thought it would be epic. We thought it would be really epic prank. What the fuck? What the fuck? Bruh.
I hate it here. I'm going home.
The folks at the Galactic Federation, they don't know how to do their jobs right. What the fuck? This is killing me. Alright, is it time for Googling? I think it's time for Googling. Show me the map, show me the way. Bruh.
Guy's special ability, or like special move that he does. Is
Okay, I get where I'm going now. Oh, wait, let me fix this so I can see the chat. Alright, yeah, babes, it was Google time after all. Googling needed to be done. This shit is so fucking cringe.
You had to look up where to go.
I had to Google a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm still pro gamer, don't question it.
It wouldn't really
shit.
be a Metroid marathon if there was never a point where anything had to be looked up.
Fucking fixing shit. Okay, there we go. You disappeared for a second, but I fixed it. Fucking
I have returned from the abyss.
okay. This way, I think.
Yeah.
Chrono, what were you up to this weekend?
Shit, I forget. I know Josh, Bert, and I went to the thrift store because we like hunting for VHS tapes. It's one of our favorite pastimes. VHS hoarding. It's not a collection anymore, it's a hoard. Let me
Dragon
think.
style.
We ate food, we did a lot of gamering. Oh yeah, we started a full rewatch of Breaking Bad because I guess Vince Gilligan has a new show out called Pluribus. And I was kind of reluctant to start it because I've only seen Better Call Saul one time and I barely remember it. And I was like, well, this new show is coming out like week by week. Let's just binge the shit out of this dude's other shows first. And then by the time we're finished with both of them, more Pluribus will be out and we can binge that too. So we watched like 6 episodes of Breaking Bad in the span of like a day.
If I end up
Day and a
watching
half.
those shows, I'll probably do Better Call Saul first, just because I've heard it's an interesting experience to start with it.
Yeah. I watched Breaking Bad like 4 times before Better Call Saul. And I don't know, it was pretty cool. I bet it's cool either way. I wasn't as huge on Better Call Saul, but I mostly attribute that to my friends wanting to binge it harder than I wanted to. Like, it was like literally every waking moment was like, let's watch the show right now. And I'm like, I need a break. And they're like, well, come on, one more. And then I would end up looking at my phone because I wasn't fucking in the mood to watch stuff anymore.
I'm trying to think what's the last time I really like binged a thing. I guess Versus Wolves would count, but it wasn't like a very active listening experience, you know. Like, I was usually doing other shit at the same time. As a matter of fact, that was pretty much the reason for binging it, was so that I would do editing. I had like a catastrophic amount of editing needing to be done, and for like, if I get into the editing headspace, I can do a whole lot of it really fast. But if I lose that headspace, I can't do it anymore. It's like I have to really be in the mentality of like, editing's what I'm doing today, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I discovered the Versus Wolves podcast and was like, perfect. This is like 200 hours of audio I could just have on and not have to think about what am I going to listen to while I do stuff, you know?
Yeah. My ability to binge a show is heavily dependent on both what the show is and the context I'm watching it in. Like, if I have a person to watch it with, that person better be fucking available all the time. And Josh is, so anything Josh and I are mutually interested in, we can binge pretty hard. But like, if it's a show that either one of us is just kind of like, it's all right, then it's not getting finished anytime soon. Like, I think
I often will
most
like
of the shit we watch.
It's like Bird binges a lot of shows, so sometimes I just watch like parts of it over his shoulder, and depending on how much, you know, like if it's really funny, like when he was watching What We Do in the Shadows, oftentimes I just found myself standing around, like kind of just listening to like a whole episode, because I'd be like, just get invested and like want to know what's happening.
That show rules. I want to watch that one again.
It's pretty good.
Shadow's my favorite.
I forgot you had seen that show, because we didn't watch that. Did you know that Bird had just watched that whole show? Like,
No idea. I think Josh and I watched it like before I started talking to you. Fucking
right now he's binging Naruto Shippuden.
Shippuden. Cartoon Network did that show no favors by pronouncing it wrong. Catch a new episode of Naruto Shippuden.
Naruto's shit.
Shippuden. They called it Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden.
Shippuden.
It's Shippuden. Much cooler than Shippuden. I remember being like a kid, hearing the Cartoon Network guy say Naruto Shippuden, and as a kid I was like, oh, so that sucks? Because it's called Naruto Shippuden? That means it sucks, right?
Shippuden.
This thing is fucking made up. This is kind of booty hole. Digit says their last binge was Stranger Things Season 5, but that's only 4 episodes, otherwise it would be Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's pretty
Lisa
sick.
said, we literally binge music all the time, though it does not count. I guess it depends on what you mean by binge, because again, it's not like a very active experience most of the time. You know, like if I'm typing and listening to music at the same time, I'm not just listening to music. And I guess I think of binging as like you're just doing this thing, you know.
Yeah. Like technically,
like I
I've
thought
been
about
binging,
Splatoon, like binging Splatoon matches, I could say. Like if I play like a few hours of Splatoon, is that binging? But no idea. But like when I think of a binge, I think of like all day. That's what you're doing, you know. Like the way my parents watch television is they watch a season a day.
Oh,
I almost said a
God.
night, but obviously it takes all day. So when they watch Game of Thrones, they are watching 10 episodes in a day. They're hour-long episodes.
I don't think of it as an all-day thing. I just think of it as like consuming in large quantities really fast. Like as in, like you started a show, and then that was like your main thing you were doing until you finished it. That's what I think of as a binge. It doesn't have to be like an all-day thing. It just has to be like,
It really
what have you
just
been doing
depends
with
how
your
much
free
free
time?
time you've
Mostly
got.
this
Yeah.
until it's over.
Because for me, what time is free is entirely by decision. So
Yeah.
typically, if I'm doing something, that's what I'm doing. You know,
Yeah, that
like
makes
there's not another thing. I don't have to go to work and then come home and continue the binge. It's like I wake up and I'm now continuing. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Because I would say
But,
Josh
like,
and I
even when I wasn't-
definitely have been binging Stranger Things because we started that show. I was like, yeah, Josh, you've never seen this? This show's pretty okay. And then he was immediately really hooked on it. So it was just like that was all we did for a few days. Is like he would wake up in the morning and go, more Stranger Things, and we'd watch like fucking 5 episodes in a day while working between shifts. Get through a shit ton of it. Like we finished the first season in 2 days. Every episode's an hour long. Like okay, that to me is definitely a binge. We binged that pretty
When I was
hard, even
in,
though the middle season sucked ass.
when I was in high school, I would typically, like in 10th grade, I would do 3 episodes before going to school, and then 3 episodes after getting home from school. And mostly I was just afraid of people like seeing what I was watching and being like, isn't this girls? And
Oh, that's funny.
like, but then once I had like my own space to do it, and then like I started hanging out with my old high school friend who would be like, when I would go to his house, he would be like, all right, we're gonna watch all 26 episodes of Samurai Champloo, skipping openings and endings, you know, like going straight episode to episode, like only stopping for like going to the bathroom or eating something. And like I tend to dissociate, so I would at times just like completely lose track of who I am, you know, like experience ego death, like watching these 8-hour binges. And then we would finish a show and he would just go right into the next one. So, like, I
Yeah.
think we literally, in the span of like 36 hours, marathon Samurai Champloo and Lucky Star, like back to back. And that kind of mind broke me
That's
towards
crazy.
the capacity towards that. So, like, for a lot of like late 2007, I remember I was getting home from school and binging a 13 episode show like every day. Like,
Oh wow.
as soon as I figured out that was possible, like, oh, I get home at 2 and I don't have to go to bed till 10, and a show's only 4 hours long, so, you know,
Yeah.
there's room to watch a 4-hour show and still eat and take a poop or whatever, you know.
I definitely thought of that when I was in my anime binging era, and then I was like, a lot of the anime I watch, I'm like, this is not worth watching in one sitting. Like this is a lot of shows I watched that were just okay, and I was like, it's only 13 episodes. I could either watch all of this right now and finish it this afternoon, or I could have an overall better day by watching a little bit of it and finishing the show in a week. 5 days to
Ironically,
watch
I
it.
always had an easier time finishing a show if it's not that good, like if it's mid.
Yeah.
Because when I would watch a really good show, I would think about too much and get like too excited about it, and then I'd be like really afraid if it's gonna go downhill, or like if anything, like if I thought the first episode's like a 10 out of 10 and the second episode's kind of mid, it'd be like really like, you know, uh-oh, is this gonna suck, you know?
That's so funny.
So, like, if a show is just kind of, like, mildly interesting, like, particularly if it was Yuri or Gender Bender, like, I would watch almost anything in those categories, even if it's not that good, just because it's like, yeah, but it's got lesbians, so, you know,
The Metroids are
categorically,
here.
I have to see it. Oh my god, Metroido.
What the fuck? Oh, there's a little baby one.
Toroido.
Little- It's like all the stages of Metroid in these tanks here. All the guys. Oh no. What is that noise? What is that sound? Something smashing up the lab? Something destroying the Metroid laboratory? Oh my god, it's me.
That's no good. Oh shit. SX is
60
getting eaten.
seconds. Oh god.
I like how that immediately establishes the Metroids as like somehow even scarier than SAX, because even she can't like hold them off. It's just getting swarmed. Did you already have the SAX boss fight before this, or?
Nah,
Is
it
that
turns out there's more than one.
Uh,
That one's dead.
Well, sick.
Samus, you shouldn't have
Samus,
done
you
that.
shouldn't
You
have done
ignored
that.
your orders. You may have to
So
pay
this
a
thing's
price for
supposed
that
to be like the
soon.
2001 computer, right? The HAL 9000. That's probably
Yeah.
what they had to be going for, with the flashy light and all that. Like one eyeball camera light thing. I haven't actually seen that movie myself, but obviously it's been parodied to death. Oh yeah, manga. I guess I binged The Summer Hikaru Died back in the summer. That's the last manga I remember binging. And with video games, yeah, I mean, if we count Splatoon, I did a couple of days of playing that for a few hours a day, so
I've technically been binging Half in the Bag, but that's been my background
Half
show
in the Bag.
while I play Dark Souls.
movies.
Fuck movies. I stepped on my scale and it said one at a time, please.
Email this website if you would like a pizza roll.
I can't stop
Only
shitting my
got a couple
pants.
from- What have you done? You unlocked the Mike's the Classa part of the brain.
Oh no. What the fuck? Why can't
You ever
I not
watch Hack the Movies?
Hack the Movies? I forget.
YouTube channel. I feel like you would appreciate some of that channel just because Tony has seen like every goddamn movie. He talks about all of them. So I feel like there's got to be some stuff where it's like, hey, nobody else has talked about this, but Tony did a good job.
But is it funny though? Because I like having the back because it's funny.
It's not as funny as Half in the Bag, unfortunately, which is the biggest reason that the show has not been more successful, is that specific unfavorable comparison. But Tony is more like broadly knowledgeable and he just makes way more content, you know,
I
like
see.
makes videos about more movies and more obscure movies, and like and he's really into like, you know, 80s horror movies and stuff like that. So
My favorite
There's
part
something-
of
taste.
Half in the Bag, aside from it being funny, is just how like fucking lackadaisical they are about talking about, like
Yeah.
they don't take it so seriously like other
Yeah.
YouTuber critics tend to. They're just like I don't know, they're so cavalier about everything, and I really respect that. Well, sometimes it can be a bit like and come off judgmental, I guess.
Mhm.
But like most of the time, it's just funny, just talking about like, oh, these Star Wars nerds clapped and cried over this thing that sucked ass, and then they go, "You believe that? Can you imagine doing that?" And they cut away to footage of like fucking Comic-Con, and everyone going ah over some like left shitto ass garbage character. Ugh. It's just it's like a funny wake up call because it's just older people who have no fucking like empathy whatsoever for the fandom culture that exists now.
Yeah.
Like pre-internet movie critics.
That's that's a big part of what's going on in the hip hop space now, is people getting like really fed up with the stan culture of like
Yeah.
people who just like their guy can do no, like there's a steady faction of people who like insist that Drake won the rap battle and that
Ugh.
he is still that guy, and like
Ooh.
you know, Kendrick's fans are all bots, you know, they call him K-bot. And like
What the fuck?
it's like these people literally cannot accept reality, and it's been like a year and a half at this point since this battle, and these people are still like living in a world of denial about the idea that like Drake is the man, and like it's gotten to a point where people are like, why do we allow these, like, why do we even acknowledge that these guys are saying words? Like, we should just act like they're not real. Like,
Yeah, real though. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to hip hop, but I have heard the name Kendrick Lamar vastly more times in my life than I have heard anyone mention Drake.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, being in the circles you are, that would definitely be the case. Because Drake is beloved by fuckboys primarily, so you'd have to spend a lot of time around fuckboys to hear a lot of Drake.
Yeah.
It's so funny too because every time there's like somebody who's like a commentator who's like, "Oh, I used to be a Drake fan," and I'm always like, "Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? Like you do seem like if he hadn't lost this battle, you'd still just have liked everything he did because."
I'm pretty
You are,
problematic, you know. I used to
also-
listen to the Procrastinators podcast.
Imagine like being really insistent that like, nah, man, that show was like everything they said was true though, and like.
I never thought that though. I never thought that. I just thought it was funny.
That's like the level of stand-up we're talking about with
Okay,
Drake.
I thought everything you said on that podcast was true back then, but I fucking. I definitely was in a stasis of like irony poisoning listening to that shit, where I was like, I'm not certain how much of this is a joke and how much of this is actually bad politics, but
I mean, most of it a joke until Ben got actually political. Then it became impossible. Then us on the show were like, Ben, are you like fucking around, or like you keep saying stuff, but you don't really act like in a way that's accordance with the way that the stuff you believe in.
I think Jesse was the one that confused me the most because he would just make these weird racist comments that I couldn't tell if they were supposed to be funny or not because they really weren't funny.
I'm sure he was trying to be funny, but yeah, sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it do be like that.
Ridley. He does look like a very Yu-Gi-Oh! The bosses are oddly Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
it was like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a huge deal when this game came out. Like peak Yu-Gi-Oh! So I could see it being intentional. They just said, I don't think I can name a single Drake song. I only know him for getting shot in Degrassi.
Just emptying all of my missiles into this fucker.
Yeah, Red Eyes Black Dragon. Or like the tunified version of him. Somewhere between those.
Fuck.
By that I mean the tunified Blue Eyes. I don't think there is a tunified Red Eyes.
Oh yeah, it's my main guy, the Time Wizard.
Joey fucking made that show for me.
He's great.
Both when I was a kid and to this day. Still my guy.
For me, it was always Kaiba.
Okay, it's also Kaiba's little brother. I wanted to be that kid.
Big brother!
Because he looked so fucking gay.
Yeah. He was a little girly boy.
Fuck. Ridley, you are so cringe. Fucking die.
No more dragon.
What is this?
What the fuck? Schling Incorporated. Dongguan, China. Nido. It says... Ooh. Nido. Oh, it says Nido on it. Neato. That is pretty neato. Fuck.
I'm killing. I'm killing.
Wow.
Was that one of those
You
gelatinous
died.
cube thingies?
It was. It was
Yeah.
called a Nido.
Those things are epic.
I had to stop holding that because I was like, I'll end up playing with this all day. Also, it's
Yeah.
surprisingly like grip strengthy. It's the kind of thing that I would probably play with and then not realize that I was like incredibly sore until it's too late.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about being friends with a shit ton of people who are autistic and ADHD is I come over to their houses and I get to play with all their fidget toys.
Bitch, that wasn't mine. It was Shade's. He was just showing it to me.
I have some cool fidget toys in my room.
I'm gonna get up for just a few minutes because I need to stretch.
Yeah.
I'm starting to go blank. I hope you defeat Ridley while
Brain
I'm
damage,
gone.
brain damage, brain damage, brain damage. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dead. This game. This fucking game. You know, I swear I killed this guy in the first try last time I played this on my freaking Game Boy. Fucking fart. Sure. Okay, let's do this right this time.
It's fun to say.
I don't remember if this game has an easy mode, but I really should have picked that for the live stream. If that was a choice. Oh my god, fuck off. It's fireball bullshit. Get out of here. 4. Okay. Away. Hey. Is it dead yet? Did I win? Give me missiles, you fuck. Give me that. 4. Come on, I'm so close. I'm locked in. Yeah.
Sleep.
Ugh. Fuck. I did it. I got my screw attack. Now I kill everyone in the world. When I get elected president, I'm gonna kill Ridley with a gun. What is this shit? Why is this room even here? What is the purpose? Digit, you can't call me a scrub. You don't even play video games. You play poop game for a toddler. The most difficult game Digit has ever beaten was on a Leapster. What game is poop game for toddler? Whatever one you play. What are your games? Just list them all, and I'll tell you that they're poop. Was it RuneScape? Literal baby game. Digits played Kingdom Hearts a bunch. Yeah. I mean, it is a baby game, but I've also played that one. Trying to tell me that Kingdom Hearts isn't a baby game when you play with fucking Mickey Mouse with the Donald Duck. Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Spider-Man, Metroid. You haven't played any of those games. I know that you're fibbing because these aren't baby games. Therefore, you have not played them.
I'm back. It looks like you did it.
I did do it. I did the do. It was pretty sweet. Absorbed the screw attack. Now I'm getting text. Walls of text.
Wall of text.
Yeah, this game's story is okay.
Destroy all X.
Yeet. Oh no, I'm locked in. What the fart? These games are making me want to rewatch the Alien movies. I know this game is the equivalent to Alien Resurrection. So which movie is equivalent to Metroid Dread? Fucking Romulus? Prometheus?
That screen cap of her saying, like, how dare you? How could you ever hope to understand machine? Like, that's got to be part of the anti-clanker movement, is some kind of meme.
Are robots ever going to have feelings like in the Blade Runner? We're gonna have to start treating robots like people one day. Oh, whoops. That's not where I go. Corona, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet? I have not, but I do plan on watching it just because so many of my friends have said that that movie was good. Even, particularly, it's like so many of my friends that it's like entered that realm in my mind where I'm like, oh, this is like the gay media that all the gay people like. This is the gay cartoon that everybody loves. Like, it's in the same realm in my brain as like fucking the Owl House, Arcane, and Has Been Hotel. There's so many people telling me like this thing is great and you would love it, and I'm like, I guess I have to watch it. But I don't
Have
fucking
you
know
heard the
anything about it.
songs?
No, I don't know
That's-
anything.
Amazing, in the sense of, because it's just I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that, but just because you are very culturally unplugged in that way. But like, it has been the #1 song like all year.
What has?
Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. The like the whole song played in my head as soon as you said K-pop Demon Hunters. I just immediately heard all of Golden play, which like it's a really good song in that way, that like it's the kind of thing that when I first heard it, it meant nothing to me, but because it is so popular and I've heard it so many times, now I'm like, oh yeah, of course, Golden, you know, perennial classic hit song that everyone knows. Go, like, you know, that kind of mentality. If you like Disney music, and I know you do, you'll enjoy this movie.
Okay. Shit. I mean, I expect I will. I've seen a picture of what the main characters look like, and for some reason when I heard the title, I like pictured something different. Like, I imagined it would be like a group of dudes who fight monsters or something in like some fucking DreamWorks type movie. I saw a picture and saw they were all girls. I was like, oh, I actually want to watch this now. Especially after every single friend I have who praised it also said, like, I don't even care about K-pop, but I liked this thing. I'm like, okay, there you go. That right away gets rid of the first inhibition, which is I hear the title, I hear someone passively mention something called K-pop Demon Hunters and think, well, I don't give a fuck about K-pop, so why would I watch that? And then it's
That's
like,
one of the
oh,
funny
that's
things
not what it's
about it
actually
is,
about. Okay, cool.
like, the music doesn't really sound like K-pop is one of the funny parts. I mean, like, the rival group, the guys group, kind of does more, but like, I think that the main songs, like, I mean, they are essentially like an Americanized version of K-pop, and even like the women who sing the songs are like Korean and Japanese, but like from America. You know, like it's not like Korean K-pop singers. It's like like an Americanized version of the idea of K-pop, and I think that's what's made it so accessible, is that it's like not literally K-pop. You know, it's just about K-pop. And it's super anime. Like, I watched it and I thought it was mostly pretty mid, but like it's also just like the least for me, you know, like it's a movie that is for almost everyone but me, in that sense of like
That's crazy.
like, it's good, you know, but it just has nothing new in it from like the perspective of me as like an anime and film nerd. You know, it's just like, okay, that was anime, you know, like that was just an anime film that that is more accessible because it's about K-pop and not about Japanese idols, you know. But like, if you've seen enough idol anime, it feels very much like a Skate the Infinity type thing, where it's like using the tropes of idols, but also using the tropes of like, you know, Demon Hunter anime. So like, if you've seen any show that's like about people who have like a double, it actually reminded me a lot of Metalocalypse as well, because like the way it plays with fame is like the group is just, you know, the most famous group on earth, and everyone just like worships and loves them. So the scenes where like their fans are talking about them feels like Death Clock fans, but it doesn't have that biting, violent irony of Death Clock, so it feels very, you know, juvenile. It's a coming-of-age movie for, like, current 13-year-olds, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's about what I expected to. Yeah, I definitely want to watch it very soon, because I had the thought that, because I've been watching so much Half in the Bag, I'm like, I kind of want to start doing a thing, because I always have things to say about the movies I watch, and since I have a YouTube channel, I'm like, I should just fucking spout all of my thoughts on there, for like people who would care to listen.
You should only if you feel like it's something that you want to hear response about, you know?
Oh yeah?
Like, when it comes to K-pop Demon Hunters, I watched it, I made a conscious decision not to talk about it.
Yeah?
Because I didn't think anything I would say would be interesting at all. I was like, because I didn't really like it, you know. So,
Yeah.
but like that's the least interesting perspective to have on that movie, even from my angle. I'm like, who gives a fuck what I thought about it? It's a fucking movie for young Korean people. Like, it's not, you know.
I look at it more
It's obviously important. It's obviously culturally impactful, and like it's got positive messaging. So I'm not like mad at it for existing or anything like that. It's like, no, this is obviously good. It's just doesn't do anything for me. So I was like, I'm probably the last voice anyone needs to hear about this film, you know.
I was more thinking along the lines of like, I want to start doing a video each year where I just review all the movies I watched that came out this year. Because
Okay, that's a good
2025 is about to wrap up, and I could just do like a funny little ranking video.
Yeah.
'Cause those are always
I've only
fun.
seen probably less than 10 movies that came out this year so far.
Well, because I already have, I list them on my Letterboxd. Like, I keep ranked lists for each year, so I can look at it and just see directly, like, was 2025 a better or worse year for movies than 2024, and so on. I like doing that shit. I like data. It's fun.
Yeah, I do that with music. I have my playlists for each year.
Yeah, I just
2024 and 2025 are like the two greatest years in music history for me. So it's been just nonstop crazy.
2023 was one of my favorite years for movies, and 2024 was pretty sick too. But yeah, I saw like maybe a dozen or so movies this year that I have words to say about. I didn't see a lot of bad stuff. I saw quite a few bad movies the last couple of years because either Josh wanted to watch them out of curiosity, or I don't even know why. I just had seen some movies I was interested in, they sucked, so. I think the worst movie to come out in a long time was Joker 2. I fucking hated Joker 2 with every fiber of my being. I did not want to watch that. Josh like insisted, like, I want to watch Joker 2. I don't know why the fuck would anyone? That was so ass.
This is it, gang. This is the final boss, right?
Yeah. Well, final-ish. Yeah. It's like the end of the game, pretty much.
Damn, she does a lot of damage.
Ooh, goddamn.
Fuck.
I swear I remembered this fight being really easy. Yeah, this year I only saw like one really bad movie I can think of, which was the new Jurassic World. Josh and I didn't even finish that. It's just like a morbid curiosity thing again. It's like, we watched the other Jurassic movies, let's see how the new Jurassic World was, and yeah, that was really stupid. Got like about an hour in and both of us were looking at our phones, and I was like, Josh, you want to turn this off? We can just turn this off if you want to turn it off. He's like, do you want to turn it off? I'm like, yes!
I think my parents couldn't make it through Joker 2. I remember them watching it just being like, wow, this is like dismal.
Just horrifically boring and cringe the whole time.
And they made it through the fucking Pop-Tart movie.
The Pop-Tart movie? What Pop-Tart
Barely.
movie?
You need to watch the Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie,
What
my
the
friend.
fuck?
Jerry Seinfeld made his directorial debut last year, making a mockumentary about the
Jerry
history of marketing Pop-Tarts. And it's
watch that guy.
terrible.
Jesus. Like that.
But it's like uniquely terrible. It's one of those where you're like, wow, this movie sucks in like a very specific and new way. Like,
Oh no, it's mutating. It's mutating at you.
oh shit.
It's fucked
What
up.
the fuck is that?
It's so fucked.
That looks like a fucking spawn monster. Some Todd McFarlane shit going on. This movie is very 2002.
Oh, it's dead. Alright. Absorb this one too. Let me back my fucking powers from Super Metroid, please. Make me immune to all of the things. Ow. Where'd it go?
Get that.
It's leaving. Get back here, you bitch.
Oh,
You whore.
what's going on? Wow. Making you just stop in the middle of the fucking final boss and go to another room to continue it. Is extra.
Digit said, I want to know what that tongue do, though, and Mayday from Space said, Digit, can we share?
Oh my god.
How do I leave? What the fuck? How do I leave?
How do I open PDF? Ooh boy.
Yeah, my neck hurts. That's for sure.
I'm ready for it to be done.
Got that gamer hunch going.
That door was just open.
Ever since I fought that spider, I've been locked the fuck in full gamer hunch mode. I'm just like, got that humpback. 3 minutes to impact. Alright, time to die. Good god.
Oh, is this just an escape sequence? So did you kill the guy or not? Or you had to fight it at the end of the escape sequence?
Oh, there's just a tiny bit more, don't worry. It's a wonderful
Main
finale at the end of this game. Finding out that the computer was actually Adam's brain dumped in a computer the whole time.
Yes, they AI cloned him, but without his memories, just his like instincts or whatever, his patterns of thinking.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's more kind of realistic to think that you could like clone someone's pattern of thinking rather than their memories. Like his memory is not like real, or it's not like a solid state object,
Yeah.
but a process can be replicated. I guess the process of recalling a memory could maybe be replicable, but if you didn't ever have the experience, then how would you have the recall process?
Yes. Doo-doo. Doo-doo fart. Doo-doo butt feces. Poop. Shitting.
I agree. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. It's an Omega
big baby
Metroid.
boy.
It's an Omega Metroid.
Omega.
I have 1
Oh, they did
HP.
bring back this design from 2. What's going on?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's gonna be one of these
This
situations.
It's got the ice beam. Give me that.
Oh, you remember how the game's called
Sure.
Metroid Fusion? It's because you fuse with this, the SAX. Fusion! Ah! They should have had a fusion dance sequence.
Die, 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 die.
Yay! Where's my ship?
Wow!
There's my ship.
You did it, gang.
Hey.
But who was driving the
The
ship?
timer's still counting down, so like if you do you just lose the game if you like win that fight, but then the timer runs out?
Yeah,
Like,
you explode. The
that's
end.
fucked.
I did it. I blew up another thing.
Well, thanks to everybody who turned out for this tonight.
That perfect military mind, the wisdom of Adam Malkovich continued to serve even after death. Until today, I had no idea that the minds of leaders and scientists were frequently uploaded to computers. My incredible reunion with Adam may have saved the universe. But how will the beings of the universe view our resolve? I doubt they will understand what we did, the danger we barely averted. They will hold tribunals and investigations. They will hold us responsible. Adam understood this, and he spoke to me in my anger.
Do not worry. One of them will understand. One of them must.
I reflected upon his words, and I see the wisdom in them. We are all bound by our experiences, They are the limits of our consciousness. But in the end, the human soul will ever reach for the truth. This is what Adam taught me. Just one detail still bothers me. This ship can only be started manually. Yet before I faced the Omega Metroid, the ship moved on its own, guided by someone's hands. Is it possible, Adam? No.
Lady, what's troubling you? You wonder how I started the ship? Just think about it. They lent me a hand.
Hey, it's all the little animals you helped.
It was them all along. It was all the
Good
cuddly
dude.
fuzzy babies from Super Metroid. They came back.
Good dudes.
This shameless fan service proves this game is cringe and objectively bad.
Alright, gang. I gotta get up. My back's gonna die.
My neck hurts.
Let's call it there.
I like video games. I like video games. Wait, is there a fast forward button? Can I fast forward the end credits? I can. Okay.
Very clean.
There you go.
2 hours 46.
Good ending,
Definitely
baby.
was like 4 hours, but I guess they didn't count the deaths.
Yeah, baby.
Hey
I'm the
everybody,
coolest.
thanks for listening. Go buy Samus vs. Samus if you haven't yet, and maybe we'll play Dread. It depends on if on how we figure out how to do it.
I'll figure it out.
Maybe.
Meow meow, everybody.